نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن هادي له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله اما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. Today marks the end of an important chapter in our life, the chapter called school life. As I stand here, I feel a mix of emotions. I'm excited for the future, but also a little bit sad to leave behind the familiar halls, teachers and friends who have been part of my life for the past 2 years. Leaving school is like closing a book that you've invested so much time and effort in, and it's hard to say goodbye. But it also feels like an opening a new door full of responsibilities and challenges. The journey through the IGC exams has been one of the most defining experiences of my school life. Preparing for these exams was not easy. The workload was heavy, the subjects were challenging, and sometimes the pressure felt overwhelming. I remember late nights revising, feeling stressed, and sometimes doubting myself. But I learned that stress is natural. What matters is how you deal with it. For me, breaking my study time into smaller parts, asking for help when I didn't understand something, and staying consistent were key. Also keeping my trust in Allah gave me peace during the hardest moments. These challenges taught me discipline, patience, and time management. IGCSE is more than just exams. It's training for life's future obstacles. It taught me to stay calm under pressure and to believe that effort leads to success. Looking ahead, I have plans to continue my education with A-levels and then hopefully university. I dream of a career where I can contribute positively to my community, maybe in medicine or engineering. My inspiration comes from the belief that education is a tool not just for personal success, but for helping others and making the world a better place. One of the unique experiences I am preparing for is life away from home for 40 days. This will be challenging. Being away from family and the comfort of home is not easy. I expect there will be moments of homesickness and difficulty managing daily routines by myself. However, I also see this as an opportunity to become more independent, responsible and confident. Learning to take care of myself and manage my time will be valuable skills for the future. Of course, there will be disadvantages, missing family support and feeling lonely sometimes. But the advantages of growing up and learning to stand on my own feet outweigh those. To the current year 9 and the year 10s, I want to share some advice. Take your studies seriously, but don't let the pressure overwhelm you. Break your work into manageable parts and stay consistent. Don't hesitate to ask your teachers and friends for help. No one expects you to do everything alone. Remember to balance your academic work with your deen. Keep your prayers and Quran close, as they will give you strength. Prepare yourself mentally for the challenges ahead, including possible living away from home. Learn basic skills now, time management, cooking, simple meals, and self-discipline. I ask Allah to bless all of us with success in this life and the next. May He grant us knowledge that benefits us, patience to overcome challenges, and sincerity in all our actions. May He guide our steps, protect us from harm, and make us among those who contribute positively to our communities and ummah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
horta alxamdulilah in ilaahay meesha nooda keenay annagana badbada qabno alxamdulilah that we're all here all healthy annaga wada faraxsan aan cidna calooshaan isku haynin meeshan waxaad u imaateen dee inaad aragtaan waxaan sheekh ku soo aragnay iyo experience-kay ku lahayn year 11kii soomaalina wuu ku hadlaya sida macallimiintana wada fahmaan waalidkana wada fahmaan waxaan doonay ka bilaabo sheekh horta waxay ahayd meel aad u qurux badan iska aamusan cagaara it was very beautiful and scenic as well meesha meel deganna way ahayd meelaha imtixaanahana inkastoo pressurekii sanadkii hore igaga soo baxday sanadkan dee kolleyba adadayg way yari jirtay laakiin alxamdulilah there was no pressure this time around not that much. Secondly, my whole khutbadi waxaan doonay ku soo jeediyay more like an advice rather than talking about my experience. So this is advice that I got from my own experience through in BIA. Horta waxaan doonay aqligiina ku haysaan and in your minds in aqligiina ku haysaan 8 years 8 sano aan iskuulkan ku jiray and ustaad Macad Qaadir la joogay maxay Wardan la joogay مع نسرين مالهاس جوكتو أجهاز iyo macaan boosda iyo macaan samedaan maanta nala joogin waxaan doonayaa horta before I start the whole thing I want everyone to give a round of applause cid kasta inuu socodso midii kale ardayda badan darkiisa maanta quraanka loo dhiibiyay iyo maxay tahay sidooyinka macallimiinta quraanka waxaan doonay loo socdiyaa صارت معلمين ماتقة بس صعبين كرتان.
كوي هنا. يا رجال يا.
يقول حدوني شاقة يبين شاقة محلي داها ورطة سكول كنا نشوتي كوا حاجة إن الصبر لهاد كوا حوينين studies كورتين أنت صوت سكول كلكو كمان صوت سكول كلا أنا لتلي the reasons why you did not go to other schools like Sky. I don't want to mention names.
No names.
بعد قادر ما تعرف مكان شيء لكن صوت سكولك كان بوجين وين فهمتد BIA is not a school it's an academy ومال نلاش هذا نقص حاجاتنيو سيدا مركز فوق كبر حدث سيدا Islam Foundation دول هذي إيو at the same time علمي كود سيني iyaga ana markaa aan maxay yidhaahaa waa they don't compromise the other aan sheegin we don't care about maadi quraan aan ku soo fikirina ama aan sheegin quraan aan ka fikirina ma maxay yidhaahaa waxa ka jeedaa maxay yidhaahaa maadi kan ka fikirina quraanka iska deynaa BIA is not that BIA waxay rabtaa ina maxay yidhaahaa markii dadka dhex gashid aad ka soo dhex baxid ina islaamnimadaada laga arko ina quraanka qaybtay ina isticmaali kartid marka dibadda u baxday You can use your own knowledge. You can use your own knowledge when you go to the outside world. In a dadka tu sheegtid, in a dadka tu soo yeedhid, dadka khaldan tu sheegtid waxyaabahaas oo kale. Maxaa la yidhaha school can patience you baahan. After that fahantid meesha marka lagu keeno waxaasay mar kasta wax kasta ku tegayaan. Laakiin taasna waxaad ku sii daraysaa markii makadan ka soo qaad bahdii islaami badan dareemaysid in ku daro ama quraan badan hadii lagu diro hadii dareemaysid horta firstly waxaad ugu horeysamaysid waxa weeyaan schedule samaysid schedule marka samaysatid markaas buu waxyaabuhu one by one ku soo gelayaan in makan ka soo qaadba ahba maxaa yidhaahaa memorization ataa'iya liisoo dhiibay prioritization bay u baahan tahay keebaa fiican keebaa hadhow ligu qabsan keebaa kasii darnaan doonta kii hadhow laakiin dee xaggan nimankan haddii aan joogno waxaan sheegayaa keebaa u baahan maxaa yidhaahaa fahmigeeda كلبان وباخناها which one do I need to understand more which one do I need to prioritize over the others you need to understand the importance when a task advance horta markii taasna samaysid insha Allah ta'ala maxali ilaa ku fududinaya in kasto iska yareed waxaan ku soo dhameystiriyo waxaan doonayaa ummu Anas iyo ummu Maxamed less than 1 minute I need more than 1 minute in our sacab kalotuna dadkan aad arkisaan quraanka dhameeyay iyo maxaa yidhaahaa maadooyinkooda aad ugu sareeyo ninba ka mas'uula ilaahay ka soo nin ninba ka mas'uula maad qaadir waxaad doonay cid kasta soo socdiso dadkana maqashiya hatta السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. Today I want to talk about my experiences and like everything that I went through, starting from BI experiences to Sheikh, then finally give some advices to the United States and the students that are right now finishing the 8th. So to start with, the experience in BIA. Firstly, I was in BIA for 8 years, more than 8 years. So probably it would take more than another 8 years to see all the experiences. But now I'll mention some of them. Some of those are Firstly, that BIA taught me that you can kill two birds with one rock. Meaning, when the teacher wants to punish a student, he doesn't have to use a stick. Rather, he will send them to copy what they have to, like what's useful for them. Number one is a punishment for the student, because he will get 6 back on his fingers. The second thing is that it will be useful for him, because the more you write again and again, you will understand more. The second thing is, it taught me Islamic in deep and details, because now basically I can debate with the Shia when it comes to me with a point saying that ihtifal Mawlid al-Nabi is halal, using the ayahs such as قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ. So apart from that, nothing in this world is 100% efficiency. It also has a drawback from it, and is the lies that I used to write. It made me tired, but at the end of the day it was all my fault. I keep them, some of it, as a memory for when I get older to see what I did in the past. To proceed, the IGCSE feelings. First, when I finished year 8, I thought the IGCSE would be another year, or like another 3 years to revise, then sit for another exam, just like the national exam of Somalia. But everything was different when I came to year 11. I saw past papers, the teacher timed us, he gave us only like 1 hour something, which made me get 4 in my first past paper, which made me to try to improve in order like to be better than what I was before. Therefore, it's better to be prepared in year 9. The second thing is the challenge. Firstly, biology was and chemistry were my main challenge, because they were hard for me. And my another challenge is that I just give up on everything that I can't do. So biology, I gave up on it until the exam was closed, and I had to do it by force. And I had no other option. So I had to memorize everything the night before the exam, which was hard, and I regret like that I avoided the past years. My second point is experience of Sheikh. First, Sheikh was another home, another place. Because this time I was living with 9 boys, and it was hard to sleep with them and understand them, to be in the same house as them. So it was like a different place. The second other thing was that I was in the same center as 540 students. I just started looking forward. That I didn't even know that was my best friend Amir was next to me on my other side. I realized after 3 days. The other thing is, I would like to thank all the teachers, all the parents, especially Anas and Mohammed Saeed, who helped us during our stay in Sheikh. They prepared us food. They negotiated with us instead of like creating problems. They solved problems which we made. So I would like to say thank you. Also, for those parents who didn't come, I know they would if they had the chance, but at the end of the day, they were still in our hearts, even though they were away. So I would like to thank all of them. In addition, I would like to thank all the teachers for staying with us and revising with us. Even Ahmed Abdi, Khalid, Khadar, and all the other teachers that helped us and stay with us. The third point and the last point is the advisors to year 10s, year 9s, and current year 8s. My first advice is that you have to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot rely on what you have. You cannot say I'm genius, so I'll pass the exams. First, you have to come up with the reason, and then you have to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing is that you have to have a schedule, starting from year 9 and year 10. If you didn't have it, you better have it now. The last thing is Second last thing is consistency. First, when you have a schedule, you're happy to have it. You will be motivated for the first time. But as time goes by, you will be tired. So showing up every day is a key. The last thing is, there's a saying that says, if you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail. So you better be prepared right now in year 9, 10 and year 8. And the last thing that I would like to say is to teach us that inshallah ta'ala, by August, we'll bring it home.
Inshallah.
Thank you everybody.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Robles. Today I'm not someone who finished year 11 in BI, but someone who lived through it, pushed through the hard times, learned a lot, and made it out the other side. I'm not just here to say the year's over, I'm here to tell you what I learned from it. When people talk about year 11, they make it sound really scary. You hear words like final year, IHCSE, pressure, and future. And it feels like everything in your life depends on a few exams. It's easy to panic, to feel like you're not ready, or like you're already behind before you even start. I felt that way too, but I learned something important. Year 11 isn't just about stress, it's about having a plan. You have to find balance between your Mahdi and your religious studies to thrive. And the truth is, most of the fear comes not from the schoolwork, but from what we tell ourselves. At the beginning, I was really nervous. Everyone kept saying, this is the big year. I started worrying about everything, the classes, exams, and the results day. I always felt like I was behind, even though the year had just started. But I realized something, worrying doesn't help, doing the work does. When I started thinking about what could go wrong and started focusing on what I could do, like putting in the effort, staying positive and managing my time, things began to change. The subject that seemed too hard started to make sense. The more I tried, the more I learned. I didn't wait until I felt ready, I just started. And with every small win, like finishing a quiz, or finally understanding a topic, my confidence grew. But don't get me wrong, year 11 isn't easy. There were times when I was tired, stressed, and frustrated. But these moments taught me something just as important as the schoolwork. They taught me resilience, how to keep going even when it's hard. Then came the exam time. Everything suddenly felt real. The days felt shorter, the time moved fast, and the pressure got stronger. All of a sudden, we were sat in Florida Secondary with over 500 other students. It was tense. But here's what I learned. You don't have to be fearless, you just need to be prepared. Trust that the work you've done will carry you through, even if you're feeling scared. Another lesson I learned is that comparing yourself to others only slows you down. There will always be someone who seems smarter, more confident, or more prepared. But their journey isn't yours. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. So to all of you who are about to start year 11, breathe. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't have to be perfect. What you need is a goal, a plan, and the strength to keep trying even on the bad days. Writing this speech today, I just didn't want to talk about what I went through. I want to tell you what you can do with it too. Year 11 will challenge you, but it will also show you how strong you really are. With that being said, I would like to show gratitude to Muhammad and Anas to stay with us during our time as Sheikh, and to our teachers, thank you for your endless patience, your late nights working, your encouragement, and for always pushing us to be better, not just as students, but as people. You made a difference in ways you might not even realize. So whatever path we take after this, whether it's further studies, new goals, or completely new beginnings, let's walk it with confidence, knowing that as long as we rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, success will follow in ways we might not even imagine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ahmed Abdul Nasir, and I'm a 11th student at BIA. I've recently completed half my examination as Sheikh, so I truly understand the experience and I would like to share with you. Now, before we dive into the serious stuff, let me keep it real with you. Year 10 isn't just another school year, it's the warm-up lap before the real race. And what you do in it will echo through year 11 experience. Think of it as a training camp. The better you train, the more you'll be prepared when the pressure starts to kick in. Let's talk about the differences between year 10 and year 11. In year 10, it's like you're learning how to drive with an instructor sitting next to you. There's guidance, room for mistake, and time to figure things out. When you hit year 11, the instructor steps out. The training wheels are off, and now it's your turn to take control of the wheel. Teachers are still there, but they expect you to steady yourself. If you haven't built solid habits in year 10, year 11 can feel like trying to sprint through mud. Year 10 feels like you still have time, but blink once, and you'll be sitting in front of your first real exam, wondering where all that time went.
One of the most struggling subjects for me was ICT in the beginning. ICT in the beginning felt like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces at first. But eventually, after consistent effort, it all began to make sense. Math has always been my favorite subject. It challenges me in the best way possible and forces me to think deeper and to be more sharper. That's why I enjoy it. But enjoying a subject isn't enough. You've got to put in the work, especially in the subject you don't enjoy. We've all had that moment staring at a textbook, thinking, none of this makes sense, and I just want to sleep. Trust me, I've been there too. Now let me tell you the truth about success. It isn't magic and it definitely isn't luck. It's consistency. Revision isn't a once a week thing, it's a habit. I built a schedule that worked for me and stuck to it. Whenever I hit a tough topic, I didn't just give up. I searched up videos and I asked questions. I practiced past papers like my life depended on it. And yes, breaks were important too. I treated studying like going to the gym. You don't get fit by showing up once. You get stronger by showing up every day, even when you're tired or not in the mood. Some days I revised with full focus. Other days I was half asleep with my notes open. But I still showed up. That's what counts. There were days I felt like giving up, but I reminded myself progress doesn't always feel powerful, but it always counts. There were days when the stress kicked in hard, but I learned how to calm myself down. I take a moment, breathe deeply, pray to Allah and remind myself you've done harder things, you can do this too. That mindset, staying calm under pressure, makes a massive difference. It helps you think clearly when others are panicking. We all panic sometimes, it's part of being a human. What matters the most is what you do next. I remember my first day in the examination hall. Honestly, it felt like I had landed in a different world. The way people spoke, the way they acted, it all felt so unfamiliar. I didn't know where I fit in, but then I realized something powerful. I don't need to fit in. You are never meant to be a copy of anyone else. Your journey is yours, own it with pride. Comparing yourself to others is a waste of time. Focus on your own path, your own progress. That's what really counts. Just because someone else seemed ahead doesn't mean you're behind. We all move at our own pace. So as you move into your 10, here's what I want to leave you with. Take it seriously. Don't wait until the last few months to start caring about your grades. Build your foundation now. Use every tool at your disposal. YouTube, Quizlet, past paper, study guides, anything that you have access to that can help with your grades. Get into the habit of reviewing what you've learned weekly, even daily if you can. And don't ignore your mental health. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't bottle it up. Talk to someone, go for a walk, take a break, then come back and keep pushing. Even when you're tired, stressed and feel like you're falling behind, keep going. You're doing better than you think. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up. Even small steps forward are still steps. Year 11 isn't just about passing exams, it's about pushing yourself beyond what you thought you could do. It's about building a mindset that will serve you long after school ends. So don't just drift through year 10 and year 9, own it, grow through it, be proud, be disciplined, and most importantly, be hungry to prove to yourself that you can rise above anything. When you walk into those exams, I want you to walk in like a warrior and not a warrior. Walk in with your head high, know you gave this journey your heart, because the real win isn't just a grade, it's knowing you fought for it. Trust me, you've got this. And before I end, I want to take a moment to thank the people who stood by us during the exam season, Muhammad and Anas. They were the ones making sure we had food on the table, making sure we got enough sleep, and keeping the house calm so we could focus. They reminded us to stay strong, they gave us the quiet support when we were stressed, and they never stopped believing in us. Behind every student who didn't give up, there's a parent who never stopped giving. They were the quiet strength in the background, the ones who held us up when we felt like falling down. So if you haven't already, thank them. That support made a big difference, and bigger difference than we sometimes realize. Thank you all for listening. Assalamu alaikum.
Today I stand before you to deliver something I never quite imagined would come so soon, a farewell speech. Honestly, I didn't see this day approaching on the horizon. 8 years ago when I first walked through the blue doors of British Islamic Academy, I could never have predicted how quickly the time would pass. It's been a long journey, full of ups and downs, challenges, lines, ultimately a journey of immense personal growth and fulfillment. Alhamdulillah is the most fitting word I can say for reaching this point. I'm deeply grateful for this accomplishment. Throughout my 8 years at this school, I've learned a lot. Yes, I studied math, English and science, and I appreciate those subjects. But the most valuable lesson I took away is something much deeper. The correct path of living as a Muslim individual. This is a subject that is often neglected, not just in the wider world, but in our new community as well.
Ulumuddin Islamic knowledge is not something that we just should know of, it's something that we should seek, practice and live by. And for that, I thank the school for giving me the environment and tools to pursue that. Some of my most memorable experiences came during our exam preparation, especially those nights I spent in Sheikh. Staying there while getting ready for my ITC is something I'll never forget. On one hand, it was quiet, focused, no distractions, just me, my books, and endless supply of tea. It felt like a small world. Everyone focusing on the examination, and everyone's sharing the same stress and determination. But of course, it wasn't always comfortable. The rooms could get stuffy, and the pressure in the air was sometimes suffocating, even overwhelming. The night before exams felt heavy. A mix of fear, fatigue, and last-minute revisions. Still, it was in these moments that I learned the meaning of discipline, perseverance, and the strange sense of unity that comes from struggling alongside your classmates. I still remember the scenes of exam hall, panic in the air, papers in hand, students pacing, whispering formulas and quotes. That chaos was astounding, strange, and weirdly unforgettable. My advice for the upcoming future ITC candidates: start early. Never wait until the lion starts creeping up the door. If you're already in this stage, especially in this school, you are knowledgeable. You just need to schedule yourself. Trust me, you will need it. Revision notes are recommendable. However, in my experience, it doesn't contain all the resources needed. Make notes for yourself, read textbooks, which contain all the contents, mostly. Most importantly, do past papers. Now, I know you might say that you already do past papers and weekly exams, timely examinations, but it's not enough. The time that you spend in school is not nearly enough, because you have to do every single paper in the Pearson website, which 8 hours only is not enough. 8 hours is like the most time that you spend in school, and you need to do 12 papers mostly in the website, which is a lot. Physics now, we have to do like 35 papers for paper 1 and paper 2s as well. 35 each, you could do the math. That's a lot. In school, 8 hours, that would be 45 minutes each lesson, which is basically one paper per lesson, which is like not enough. Ultimately, I want to thank and give my sincere thanks to Muhammad and Anas. They helped us go through the exams. They gave us the time. They left their children in their houses. They do have kids. The siblings are sitting down here, and I'm really grateful for them. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Aziz, and I'm giving you advice. Everyone. Have you ever stood at the edge of something you've known for years, suddenly realize how far you've come? That's exactly where I am today. 5 years ago, I walked through the gates of BI for the first time, not knowing how big my part of my life this place would become. And now, as I stand here in my final days, I feel a mix of pride, nerves, and deep gratitude. This year has been a challenge: the pressure of IGCSE, the weight of expectations, and the mental load of trying to balance revision. There were moments I doubted myself, felt burnt out, or overwhelmed. But through every struggle, there was growth. Every setback taught me something new, and slowly with effort, prayer, and a lot of patience, I overcame them. Being a student at BIA didn't just teach me how to prepare for exams, it taught me how to prepare for life. This school helped me grow not just in knowledge, but in character, in faith, and in purpose. It reminded me that true success isn't just in your grades, it's in who you become, how you treat others, and how you carry your dream with you wherever you go. To BIA 10, your turn is next, and I know it can sound scary, but let me tell you this: you're more capable than you think. Work hard, but also work smart. Make time for revision, stay focused, and don't isolate yourself. Surround yourself with good people, ask for help when you need it, and trust that Allah is always with you. If you fall, get back up. That's how you build resilience, and that's how you grow. As I look back on these 5 years, I realize I'm not leaving a school, I'm leaving a place that helped shape who I am. BI wasn't just about classrooms and lessons, it was about growing character and then to walk through life with purpose. I'm grateful for every parent who helped me throughout Sheikh and with all other examinations. Every teacher who guided me with patience, every friend that stood by me during the late night study sessions, and every child that pushed me to grow. Without these gates feel surreal. It's the end of something special, also the start of something greater. I leave here knowing that I carry everything BI has taught me. So to those still on the journey, make the most of your time here, hold tight to your goals, lean on your faith, and don't be afraid to struggle. Also remember to work hard, to fight easy. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Muhammad Saeed, and today I'm going to be presenting my experience in BIA, my IDCC journey, and my experience in Sheikh. So let me start with the foundation of the school, which is Islamic Studies, Arabic and Quran. The school has been built and has been called the Islam Academy for a reason. Islamic studies and Quran and Arabic are the ones that make you who you are today. So for me, Islamic studies led me patience. Arabic studies made me understand the meanings of the Quran, and Quran taught me to be good. The school environment and the support system. BIA is the cleanest out of all schools. I really tell you the truth. BIA has the cleanest atmosphere for a reason. There are no one who's saying bad about other. No one is saying bad about the school. No one. If I really tell you the truth, this is my second home. The teachers here care about more than our grade. They care about who we become. They push me, support me, and remind me to balance my life with the next. Sometimes a simple word from a teacher was enough to keep me going through the hardest days, actually. So, if we start with the attempt, we learn and build our study skills and focus. In year 10, things start to get harder and serious. It was tough for me, but I focused to understanding rather than just memorizing. Understand before you memorize. من فهم شيئا حفظه ومن حفظ شيئا نسيه. In year 11, I handled pressure and staying balanced. So year 11 was more intense, the pressure increased, but I stayed calm. By planning my revision carefully, I mixed the harder subjects and the easy subjects to keep myself motivated. I made sure to take breaks and look after myself. Now let me talk about my experience in Sheikh. My final examinations for the IGCSE took place in Sheikh, a calm and beautiful city with stunning waterfalls and tall mountains. It's quiet and peaceful, the perfect place for study. My exam was in a large hall that could take about 320 students. Imagine you look in front of you, you don't know who is he, and to the left no one, to the right you don't know who is he, and the back no one. So you really feel a little bit scared about it, but it's life. The hall was completely silent for around 2 hours. Imagine that. A quiet and serious atmosphere. My advice for future students, especially to the year 10, is to start early. So don't wait until year 11. Everything takes serious in year 11. Understand the subject and don't memorize. That's number 1. And practice past papers. It will make you familiar with the exam style. So take care of yourself, and most importantly, to keep connection with Allah. I'm giving you helpful resources for the IGCSE journey. I'm giving 4. You can use Save My Exams, Cognito, the PMT, and Paper Loads. They will really help you in your journey. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected teachers, beloved parents, dear friends, and fellow graduates, my name is Amir Abdel Nasir, and today marks a very special moment in my life, my graduation as an IGCSE student from BIA. Standing here while reflecting on my journey that began 3 years ago in August 2022 fills me with gratitude, pride, and a deep sense of accomplishment. It has been a remarkable path filled with both challenges and growth, and I am honored to share some of my experiences with you. When I first joined BIA, I knew it was a place that would challenge me not only in academics, but in Islamic studies as well. Still, I could never have imagined just how much the school would shape me. Over the past 3 years, I have prepared for IGCSEs but I've also grown in an environment that values our Islamic identity deeply. BIA is not just an academic institution, it is a community that seeks to build well-rounded individuals who are strong in their faith, knowledge and character. Let me first speak about the ICC qualification. For those unfamiliar, the ICC is a highly respected qualification that prepares students for further education and many advanced programs overall. International recognition of the ICC also means that students from BIA are well equipped to pursue higher education anywhere in the world. This qualification opens many doors, providing us opportunities to excel academically and professionally on a global scale. It's a stepping stone towards a successful future, and I'm proud to have achieved this milestone today. My own experiences at Sheikh have prepared me for the examinations in a way no other place could. I learned about the schedule of exams we would be doing, the layout of the exam hall, and the stationery needed. But most importantly, it was the perfect place where I could put my head down and focus on revising. The few moments before an exam can be some of the most stressful and worrying. My first thoughts when I sat down in the exam hall were nothing but fear. But going through this journey has taught me that worrying is the least helpful thing you can do in a situation. It will only cause you to forget everything you have learned before and make you feel unprepared for the examination. So try your best to be confident, as well the hard work will pay off during the exams. Our daily routine consisted of us waking up for Fajr, reading the Quran, eating breakfast, and then finally starting our revision. For the majority of the day, we would sit together with our teacher and revise with him from 8 AM to 12. Although on some days we would start as early as 6 in the morning. Our second revision session would be from 4 PM to 8 in the night. On days we did not have exams, we were allowed to play football or take a walk in the mountains. For the year 10s, next year will be big for you. It will be difficult, but every revision session and practice exam will bring you closer to a version of yourself that you'll be proud of. My parting advice to you all is to stay committed to your studies, take advantage of support from your teachers and peers, try your best, manage your time well, and stay disciplined. Looking back over these 3 years, I realized how much I have grown. I came to BIA seeking quality education and I strong my Islamic foundation, and I've received both and much more. I'm grateful to my teachers who invested their time and effort to guide me, to my family supporting me throughout my time here, and to my fellow students who made this journey memorable. Graduating as an ICC student from BIA is not the end, but a new beginning. It is the start of a chapter of my life where I continue to build on the knowledge, skills, and wisdom I have gained here. I'm confident that the education and the Islamic principles instilled in me will guide my future steps, inshallah. In conclusion, I want to encourage my fellow graduates and younger students to embrace the challenges ahead with ease. Remember that education is trust from Allah, and seeking Islamic knowledge is an act of worship when done with the right intentions. Let us carry forward the lessons we have learned in BIA and teach them to those around us. Thank you to everyone who has been an important part of this incredible journey, but most importantly, I want to extend a special thanks to the parents who stayed with us during the exam season and made the entire ordeal more bearable. May Allah bless our teachers, families, and all those who supported us.